welcome to another episode of Craig Max Chasing Success. The young man I got on the camera here with me is, you may have seen him from BET Comic View. He did that for about 13 years. He's been on Def Comedy Jam, The Parkers, Laugh-A-Palooza with Jamie Foxx. He's been traveling around the country, and he is going to be coming to Dallas, Texas here soon. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kenny Howell.
What's happening, everybody? Everybody out here in digital land,
right?
in Dallas, and what's happening,
right? And so you're going to be coming, as I mentioned, you're going to be coming to Dallas. Here on the 9th, and I'm putting up the share screen now.
Oh, there you go, right there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You come to Dallas here on the 9th, you're going to be at 6400 Maple Avenue, Suites 850 here in Dallas, Texas. You got a couple of friends you're bringing with me. Can you give me a little overview of those folks?
Yeah, actually, I have one of my friends that he's a comedian sometime, and him and his buddy is putting on shows. This is him and his guy's first time. He has this thing called the Art of Comedy. And we used to come, his name is Rochester Hampton. We used to come down there. I used to come down to Dallas, and we would do the charter schools. And he would just try to set up something for, kids that, get them off the street to try to learn how to do comedy or act and stuff like that. So he's a part of this. And along with his buddy, my man, Therese, mainly Therese called me, got his buddy that has this big studio down there. So he was like, yo, he want to start doing something every week. I mean, not every week, I'm sorry, once a month with, so I put them together. I called my buddy Scruncho from How High. Y'all seen him on Def Jam and a lot of stuff, a few movies. And I'm going to host. And then we always want to give back. So we bring in somebody from out of town, and we bring it in 2 locals, a male and a female. Okay. That way you get to support your own, and it wouldn't be right to come to Dallas and not take care of the locals, Right. So that's what my man, What's Up Comedy, we got him on there. He's going to be doing his thing. And then we got the young lady, C. Rich. They both pretty funny, been doing comedy for a minute. So, it's going to be a great show, and we're going to try to do it once a month, and I'll host it. And we'll bring in somebody from TV every month, along with putting some local people on the show, and you never know, the locals might end up being the next Richard Pryor people.
That's right.
Why we always try to look out.
Absolutely. All right, I like that. I like the way that sounds, helping out the locals.
Got to, man,
So again, folks, that's going to be August 9th at 6400 Maple Avenue, Suite 850. You can call and get details at 913-617-5797 or 817-232-5954. Again, that's 913-617-5797, or you can get details also at 817-232-5954. All right.
Yeah, you ain't gotta bring no liquor and hide it in the car. Because the drinks is they pour good, and they not real expensive. And then they're gonna have like a buffet with food, so you can eat there and everything. It's a nice little place. I already been to it. It's a big old studio.
Will it be heated this time, Kitty?
Will it be heated? Yes. Yes. I know the last time we was standing outside the deep freezer at a meat market. It was freezing.
It's so hot down here. You might be able to still pull that off, dude. It won't be a problem at all. It's so hot right now down here. All right. So let's get into it a little bit here, Kitty. So what made you decide to become a comedian?
Honestly, I mean, you know what? It's like, I'll be honest, like my whole life, my whole family, my grandfather was always funny. My father was funny. He was like one of the funniest people to me. My brother said, but my whole life, like I just watched everything funny, all the TV shows, like black, white. And I just felt this is something I wanted to do as a kid, but I didn't get a chance to do it right away. You know what I'm saying? I kept getting kicked out of school, and and whoopings and stuff at home. But, like I even in grammar school had a teacher that was like, she was like, as long as your work is done right there, and I'll give you the last 5 minutes to clown. So, so I played ball, went to school with you, we was roomies, and I walked on Illinois State team and that was right when I stopped going to class. So,
Go
but
Redbirds.
Redbirds, my boys. Yeah, so so when I came home from school, I worked for my brother, but I just kept saying, man, man, if I get a chance, I'm gonna do this. So I went through some stuff. My sister got shot, and
Mm.
really like let me know that life ain't promised. It could be short. She's still living,
Oh,
but
goodness.
the way it happened and what went down, it shook me to the point like, yo, you not promised nothing.
Right.
So I went up to New York for a couple of years to stay with my older brother. And that's when I started seeing, they had like comedy nights and comedy spots every
Mm.
week. I was like, wow, I still was scared to go do it. So then I came back home, and it's a true story. I was driving an ice truck,
Mm.
where I was delivering ice. I was making money. I was stealing too, but it was water, right? They ain't paying for it. So so I swear to God, so I'm riding around. I was the only black driver. They had me. I had all the black neighborhoods, the West Side, Cabrini Green, the Wild Hunters. I was the only one who had a safe in my car, but I had a bar. I had a nice little radio. I was in there, partying. Then just all of a sudden, for every day for about a month, they kept saying the Miller Lite Comedy Search. We starting this brand new comedy search, this and that. And I was like, man, I should do it, man. I should do it. And I kept driving and kept talking myself out of it. And then it was on every day for like 3 months, because first it was like about the auditions. Then once they had the auditions and I didn't go, they had the contest. And they picked out 100 people, picked 10, and they every week they would be on the radio because they was doing a different club. So at one point, all I was hearing on the radio was Bernie Mac and Dale Givens. Bernie had won it the first year they ever had it. And then Adele Givens was second place. And then they was on the radio like, wow. I was like, man, they do that next year. I'm going, forget that. So that next year came around, and sure enough, it was at Shit Rick's. And I went in there and I was nervous. Yeah, it was about 200 people in there. And I was like, no, I ain't doing this. I walked out, and then Fred Levy called me, right? And he was like, what up, Truck? Did you audition? I said, man, I'm scared. It's 200 people in there. Man, I don't know if I. He said, man, how much is the prize? I said, $5,000. He said, man, you better get your ass in there. We need that money. So before I walked back in, I walked next door to the liquor store and got me a Mad Dog Kiwi 2020.
To take the edge off.
Took it, and I took the whole head off. I took it to the head, the whole thing. So, so I get back in there, they passed out numbers. My number was 46, and then I started watching people go up. They was horrible. They even had like some duels, two guys that had, was a dual act. They had some white people, had a juggler. I was like, oh man, hurry up, call me, hurry up. So right, as they on like the 22nd act, 23rd, Tony Schofield walks in. And for some reason, he just walked and sit right next to me. His shoulders like he still got the hanger in his jacket. So he walked like this, and then he just sat down like and just started talking to me. And he's like, yeah, they cut the mic off on my ass last year. They do that this year. I'm gonna keep. I said, I'm like, they what? They cut the mic off on you, bro, and you back? He was like, yeah, I got something for him this year. I was like, whoa. And Bernie Mac and Dale Givens was two of the judges, along with Tom Finch, the guy from Budweiser, and a couple of more people. And it just turned out that he walked in an hour after the show had started. My number was 46, and his number was 80, right? But for some reason, they called him out of order. They called him 45. He was like, all right, number 45 Tony Schofield. So I guess, I don't know why they moved him up. But he went out there and ripped, right? You only had 5 minutes.
Well,
and
hell, if I had number
I'm
45, I'd have been pissed off.
No, I was cool because somebody going in front of me that,
No, I'm saying the guy that had number 45.
Oh, yeah, I know he probably was upset. Yeah. I think they did it because he had been in the contest the year before. Yeah. And then, it was, people was bombing. So the crowd was unanswered. They leaving out, some of them, and they was like, they brought up, a white guy that was funny right before Tony. Then out the blue, they brought up Tony. He did real good. Then they brought me up. And then I did real good. And I was like, I was happy, shit, boom. And then they picked us, out of 200, they picked 20 people. They put 10 in one group, 10 in the other. So Tony was in the other group. And every week, your group, like a Tuesday, we would hit a different club in Chicago, like might be on the South Side. Group one is doing the Sandpipers. We was doing ghetto clubs. And then the next day, my group would do another place. And then each week they would eliminate 2 people. Right. So after 3 weeks, it was down to like 5. They brought it down to 5 people in each group. Then they brought both groups together as a semifinals. And then they picked 8 of us to do the finals at the what was it? Oh, the Park West with Chris Rock. And Chris Rock was big. He was big at that point. This is 91, 92. And they put us in there. And so in the contest, as you go farther in the contest, you get more time. So so you get 6 minutes starting to do through the contest. In the semifinals, we got 8. So in the finals, you get 10 minutes. So we supposed to pick out the hat, but I got there late, so naturally I'm last. So they told us you can do the extra 2 minutes if you want, or you don't have to. You could end your set where you've been ending it through the contest. So most people just did their regular stuff, right? I was like, no, I'm using my 2 minutes. I had never did the dances I'm known for, the uncles dancing me and Stone used to do. So I was like, I'm doing them tonight. So as soon as I finished my regular portion, and one of the comedians, Duran Howell, was on the side with Bonnie Deshawn. She was hosting, so she didn't know nothing about the rules, and she was like I started doing the next, going into setting up the uncles, and I could hear him, see him on the side. He going over. He ain't supposed to be doing this, and that. And I'm looking like this, and then she just walked right out in front of everybody. And just like, well, you did all your time. We can't give you extra time. And I was like, no, the rules. You know how I am with the rules. Like, I got proof. Oh, come on off, Kenny. Come on off. They pulled me off the damn stage. I'm mad. So this is what really hurt me, right? So I was like, okay, boom, all right. So I'm gonna lose since she ain't know what she's doing. Blah, blah, blah. So then Chris Rock performed, right? And then they was bringing all us back out after him, and they was gonna do the winner. So I was like, okay, more than likely, because they came to get me, they're gonna subtract me for some points. So I probably ain't gonna win. Right. So then they counted for 4th place all the way down. They did 4th place was James Hanna. He passed, but he used to write for Steve Harvey show, a lot of TV shows, My Wife and Kids, before he passed. And he lived in Dallas too. He moved to Dallas. And then the third guy was somebody. I forgot who it was, but then the second guy was Ali Leroy. He was a veteran, and he actually was good friends with Chris Rock. He actually wrote, him and Chris wrote Pootie Tang together. So he actually one of the head writers of Everybody Hates Chris. So he ended up doing big, and then Tony won them 1st place. So I'm like, damn, they made me stand up here and look like a damn fool. I didn't even place. So the crowd was kind of like mixy. Like, ooh, wait a minute, so we come on stage, I'm hurt. I'm mad. I'm like, man, how the fuck y'all gonna do this to me? I'm sorry. But then Tony grabbed me, he's like, don't worry about it, man. I'm taking you with me. And I was like, ain't that I ain't gonna leave you, my brother. And I go in the bathroom with my cousin Herb, and then Otis Wilson, Dave Durson, and somebody else came in the bathroom. They was the judges, the Chicago Bears. And they was like, man, what happened? I was like, man, they was like, y'all said y'all didn't vote for me. They was like, dude, we all had you number 1. You won. They just told us after we voted that we had to remove your name off the thing. Like, we was like, everybody had you as the winner. And I was like, are you serious? He was like, yeah, but when we turned our stuff in, they was like, no, Kenny's disqualified. I said, wow, they disqualified. Didn't even tell me, but let me walk out there. So I was so mad. I said, y'all didn't hurt me. Y'all just created a star. I was so bitter that I was going to get, I was like, ugh.
Put that chip on your shoulder.
3 months later, yeah, man, it made me, and that's why when I be on stage, it's like I'm nonstop. I was like, and like 3 months later, I was doing All Jokes Aside, and they was talking about, I was doing the Bulls 92 season. And that, because I remember the playoffs was on, and the Def Jam hadn't came on yet. They had filmed their 1st season, and Bernie and Adele had already filmed. So they was looking for people for the 2nd season, and they showed up at All Jokes Aside, and it was like 20 of us audition, and I destroyed it. I got to stand it on, and I got picked. So the first Def Jam season was Bernie Mac did to Take Me Out to the Ballpark and the Dale Givers. Then the second one that came back is when he did I Ain't Scared of You. And I did my first one, which I did the little chicken flavored dish, all that. But it was me, George, Will Byrne, Adele, And Bernie Mac was the first one from Chicago to do national TV. And then I signed with Def Jam.
Gotcha.
And from then on, I've been doing it forever, and then I was with them 4 years, did Comic View, and I would do Comic View every year. I won a couple of hour specials. So I ain't look back, 30-some years.
Wow. Awesome. Well, you blew through a lot of some of the questions that I had, but I still got a couple more for you though. So you said how long you been a comic?
That contest was in '92. And then look, and then I made the ice company fire me so I could get unemployment. So I got unemployment until I hit Def Jam.
Right.
And then I signed with them.
Yeah, you gotta work
30-some
it.
years. Yeah, 32 years.
So where are you going to be performing next right now before you come to Dallas?
I'm going back to Chicago to do Club Riddles on it's in Alsep 115th to Cicero. Me and Tony Schofield, actually Tony's gonna host and I'm headlining. We got 4 shows, 7:30 and 10 Friday the 2nd and the same third on the 3rd. And we actually celebrate my niece's birthday that Saturday at the 2nd show. So
okay, all right,
it's gonna be all right. And
cool.
then I come down there and then I go to Cleveland and then I'm supposed to go to Detroit. Mike Epps got a new club that he opened called One Mic. So it's like he do R&B and comedy. So he's doing his grand opening this weekend and then I'll be down there. And then I got Fresno, just got back from San Diego. So I stay on the road.
Yeah, I got you. So who were your role models, Kenny, when you were growing up when you were interested in being a comic? Who did you used to look at?
My father and Red Fox.
Okay.
Because my father was a duplicate of Red Fox. Like they was the same. My father cussed funny. Shit, you God. So, look, if my father would change his voice when the phone rang, he'd be cussing you out. Shit your ass. I told you to be. Hello. All righty. Okay. And you have a good one too. Bloom, get your ass back in there. So he was funny, not trying to be.
Boy,
his favorite comic was Red Fox.
Yeah, you still naturally ignorant, boy. So,
because you know how I got that.
See, you
know how I got the
described when you
naturally
got on
ignorant name,
stage, but I remember the first time you actually stepped on stage to do comedy, Kenny, and that was when we were in school.
That was at Illinois State. Yeah, I remember. Luther Brother was doing the guitar thing.
Right, right. And I pretended to be your first manager. You know where I got the
naturally ignorant name from, right? Beaver. Look, Beaver used to laugh like, oh, stop, you ignorant. I can't help it. I know, he's naturally ignorant.
So I would have thought after you did that, because you really did a good job for your first time and you had the crowd in the palm of your hands. Wow. I would have thought that wouldn't have stopped you from that point on,
No, I mean, you know what? That was and see, I didn't even feel I did that good that night, but I felt I did okay. But that was like still my dream, you know what I'm saying? But we still at Illinois State, so remember that fall I walked on the football team, so it was gonna be either or. And then we got the partying too much, and I hurt my leg, so it was like okay, I was on probation.
Right.
See you, Craig. I'm going to go back to Chicago and work. So I got to work with my brother, but I got a lot of material because it was a grocery store. So people coming in, I'm roasting them,
And that's what I was going to ask you. Where do you get your material from?
Just everything that I live. Like, you know what? I have never wrote a joke down, but I write subjects. Like I might say, my friend, remember when I first started with you and Dunk them, I would like my friends at school, and then I would imitate you. I would imitate Dunk with the big head, and then I did the stuttering thing. That was one of my first bits. And we always keep 3 things on everything, three things on whatever subject. So I might do my mama, and I think of 3 things funny on her, but I don't go scripted because it leaves room for me to grow the joke. Gotcha. So if I say something and then I move them around, so the first thing I say about my mother might be the funniest. So I'll do it again and then move them around and to the left to go from the lowest to the middle to the highest. And then I can ad-lib on them. So when I do that, the crowd laughs, go, ah, 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 ah. And I do that with the subjects. I take my first subject, boom, you know, and then the middle subject, and then that last subject is the one that take them over the top. So that way, people, I don't give people a chance to breathe. I want you to laugh all the way
Yeah, I was
through.
gonna ask you. So, what's the cadence that you're targeting? Is like a laugh every minute, every 2 minutes, something like that?
No, I like them last. I like them not breathing. You know, so I try to, if I
Try to
have a
choke.
dry,
You try to choke the life out of them.
yes sir, yes sir. If I get a dry spot, that bothered me the whole night. Like, man, they didn't laugh at that one. You know, I wanted to bang, 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 you know, and that way,
Gotcha.
because when they laughing hard, it makes me think of more stuff. It give me more energy. And then at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, it covers the time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just waiting on them to slow down laughing here so I can start this. So give
Mm-hmm.
me time in my head while they laugh, because you know, white people laugh and shut up. They Black people want to call you, you know, they got to testify with them. Nigga, that happened to us yesterday. I'll be there. You remember you was like, you know. So when they laughing and talking, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say next.
Mm. So Kenny, how does somebody start? And how do they find a manager?
Now see, the game has changed because of the internet. Because of back then, right? The managers came to people with talent. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
guys who, and then you know, and then there's people who born to be comics because they just, that's who they are all day long. And then
Mm-hmm.
you get those people that, oh, I could do that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then they be kind of generic with it. But you know, so it's almost like somebody taking a job that from somebody that this and that. But so back then, the agencies will come after you, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if you they see you get talent, and then you have everybody want to manage you. Now with the internet, they don't, it's totally the opposite. They look and
Mm-hmm.
see who got the most followers, and who got the most, you know, people who, you know, hits and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
then the agencies go after them because it's about marketing. They thinking these people reaching this many people. And a lot of these cats not real comedians. So when you see them live, they bomb, but they getting paid. But
Right.
then, you know, people won't come see them the second time. You know, because online you can do one thing, and if you don't like it, you can do it over and post the one that worked. On
Mm-hmm.
stage, you got one shot,
Right.
and if man, you can bomb too. You know,
Man, you
so
got a
I
lot of.
tell the young guys, that like most cities, they got like an open a mic. Like if there's any comedy club there, most comedy clubs like to have your open mic during the week, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or like a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday is where they have to bring the big names in. So most locals, I tell them just go up there, watch some things, and then just come up with a few, about 2, 3 subjects, and go up there and try to do 5 minutes, you know, and it's never the crowd's fault. And I tell them, this is one main thing I tell them. I say, here's the thing: if you bomb that night, right? Look at it like playing basketball. If you went to the park one day and you lost, you're not gonna quit playing basketball, right? You're gonna go home and think about that loss and come back tomorrow, try to win. I say, so if you bomb and it's like that, it's just like you lost the game at the park, it should eat with you till you want to get back on the stage. I say, and the opposite of that is if you do good, ride that feeling, because when you come off the stage, you can't wait to get back. So if you're at the park and y'all win all day, you can't wait to get back. So I just try to make them look at it in a sense of, if you're gonna do this, ain't no quitting. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? You either got to have a love for it. It's either got to bother you because you didn't do good, and you got to get back and redeem, or you got to get back because you did good. Either way, ain't no quitting. You know, those
Right.
that quit, it ain't for them, because it's
Right.
a grind. You know, and then I let them know, hey, everybody starts somewhere. Just try to get structured and be yourself. Look at the crowd like you're talking to your friends.
Right.
You know.
Man, I was just wondering, man. Do you peeps know that you're doing a recorded interview right now? You got a lot of traffic going on behind you
Oh,
there with the fridge.
my daughters, you know, they don't give a damn.
It's all
He
good.
asked me where I was. He said, because you got a lot of people moving in behind you and stuff. Yeah, they be talking. They ain't said they cooking and turning on lights off and on shit.
And so Kenny, have you ever been heckled, man? How do you deal with hecklers?
Yeah, I get heckled. I tear their ass up though. Now you know I can roast, Craig. You've been with me. You remember that day? You remember that day? They was like, all them people came up to us like, they ready for you in water. Remember, it was the cross-eyed girl. remember they was pubbing up to get me. I was like, all right, okay, shoot your best shot. I think I told her, bitch, every time you sneeze, the hair fall out the back of your head. Get your, because remember
Oh
she was
man.
bald headed. I forgot. She was
Hey,
cross-eyed. I think I called her eyes the Yahtzee dice.
let's sell some more. Let's see if we can sell some more tickets here, man. So
Okay.
again, this is Kenny Howell. He is going to be in Dallas, and you're gonna hear more of this from this fool. Friday, August 9th. Doors open at 6:30. Show is at 7:30, and that's going to be at 6400 Maple Avenue, Suite 850, Dallas, Texas. Call for details 913-617-5797 or 817-232-5954. He's going to bring a couple of friends. So he's going to bring Scruncho with him, Wiz Pop Comedy, and Miss C. Rich. Get there, buy your tickets, and be ready to laugh. Get your stress off, okay? All right. So, man, you've covered just about everything I wanted to go through. You was born and raised in Chicago, though, right, Kenny? Oh, I lost my sound. You put yourself on mute, brother. Take yourself off mute. Yeah, you're on mute right now. What you hit? You hit something. Ask to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Thank you.
Okay.
That's
I
all
didn't,
right.
I ain't punched, I ain't seen no flies. But I ain't, I ain't
That's all
mute
right.
nothing.
It's just this technology. It's just
Yes,
does its
it's
own
that
thing. So
technology. Or it might be this regular ass laptop. You know the screen broke. I got it held up with these little clamps.
okay.
It's a touch screen and it's clamped.
Right. All right, man. Well, like I said, if somebody wanted to start out, is it best for them to just go to like you did, go to comedy shows or places that are
Yep.
advertising looking for comics
Reason
and
why, yeah, reason why I say they like try to find a little comedy club is there. If not, I'm sure there's people doing comedy show, doing show, just to go to watch or go to open mics, even if if it's
right,
just for singers and poetry, just go because the first thing is getting on the stage,
right,
breaking your cherry. Then the second thing is getting comfortable with yourself, not doing somebody else's jokes or just learning how to be free on stage because
right.
it's scary in front of all them people sometimes.
You get
But
over that
don't
stage
quit.
fright.
Yeah, and then grow your act. Get your act. Try to come up with a couple of subjects, and all you got to do is try to do 3 to 5 minutes of
Mm-hmm.
whatever that is. And then when you come off, if you most of the time when you come off, you think about, damn, I should have said this. Write that down,
Mm-hmm.
jot that down, or just have somebody film you with your phone
Right.
because it's always hard to watch yourself. Then you come off, you be like, oh, I could have did this better. I could have did that. And never try to get ahead of yourself. If some and leave on your high, on the hot, strongest laugh. Because
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Mac told me you always want people to want to come back and see you.
Right.
Young comics have a problem with if they doing real good and the crowd laughing, they'll peak the crowd and then don't have much good material behind it. And instead of them coming off on that good laugh where people
Mm-hmm.
be loving them, they'll dry themselves out,
Right.
and that burns the show up too. So just
Gotcha.
do your time, try to grow from 3 minutes to 5 minutes to 7 minutes to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Within 6, 7 months, you should be on that. And then you got to try to have 5 to 10 minutes that can work anywhere, can work at a church or a Greyhound bathroom or the basement of a whorehouse,
Mm-hmm.
wherever,
So
or
you got to
adapt
adjust
to
your
your,
material to your
yeah,
audience, right?
yeah, to
Yeah.
whatever type of audience you got. Yeah, you
Gotcha.
definitely got to look at the crowd and fill them out, see what they like, and because you can have mixed crowds, you can have all white crowds, but you got to feel what they like it, you know.
Gotcha.
So it's always good to watch the host because the host, it's not his job to be the funny, it's his job to carry the show and make sure everything works right to get the announcers out. So his job is to come out and find the mood of the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
and then now you know how to, okay, boom.
Right. Gotcha. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kenny Howell. He's made me laugh throughout this whole this whole interview, and I'm sure he's going to make you laugh here in Dallas and in Chicago when he's there as well.
Yes,
So make
sir.
sure you go get your tickets and be sitting in the front row and get your laugh on. Ken, I
Yes,
want to
sir.
thank you, man, for taking the time to talk to me and
Oh
share
man.
that knowledge with me about the comedy game.
Yeah, man. You my brother, man. You know I love you. Also,
Hey,
see, we're gonna be trying to do it once a month down there.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we
All
want to
right,
make
I
it
got
regular.
you.
So me and you will do a regular podcast every month for each show, if you want
Hey,
to.
it is, man. I got the
Yeah.
platform for you to get to sell those tickets, man, and
Yeah.
put you guys out there, okay?
That
So
works for me, bro.
with that, man, I'm gonna wrap this one up. And
Dope.
again, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, bro. All right, Dallas, I see y'all, man, on the 9th.